Hello, good morning. We'll start with our session. Yesterday, just we revised things for some 5 minutes, then we'll start with our. Basically, we have two types of application. One is front-end application and back-end application. Front-end application can be developed by using what ASP.NET, HTML related things, and the back. So, like we'll apply some concepts here. Okay. Related and also C sharp. So backend application. So we cannot save one value into database directly. So that's the reason we are opting for ADO.NET. What is ADO.NET mean? Active database object. Okay, that's what. So yesterday I have shown. So how many people install? How many did not install? So who did not enroll? Can you please raise your hands? So only one responded. Rest of the people did not install. Okay. If someone see people whoever is facing issue or something, if someone messages me also, I don't help you guys. Why? Because when I'm asking questions, if you're not responding, then why should I help you guys in that? Okay. So okay. So you four people install. Very good. So fine. Just we'll launch SQL Server and we'll just see how to work with that. SQL Server just okay. So you can open it. Okay, when we open SQL Server, we'll get like this. So first one server type. Server type we will select as database engine. Server name we can select dot or local host, or you can give your computer name. We have two types of authentication. One is Windows authentication and one is SQL authentication. If you are working with Windows authentication, by default, when you log in into your computer, the credentials whatever we are entering, it will take them as default credentials. We don't need to specify any credentials. And if you are going with SQL authentication, we need to provide user ID and password. So at the time of installation of our SQL server, we'll get some user ID password there, so we can give them. And finally, if you click on connect, we'll connect to database. Now, yesterday I was explaining about in database two most important things. One is database and one is table. So how to create database? Couple of ways we have. So sometimes we can write a query like C. The people whoever is learning SQL Server, they may do like this: create database, some database name like this. If you execute this one, it will work for you. Okay, but I don't want to go with that. So now how to create database? Now here we have so many things are there. Here this is save button if you want to save the query, or if you want to save with some table there or something, then we'll go for this one, save. And so here somewhere, so whenever you're writing query, we will get option called execute. So if you click on execute, so like F5, or you can press F5 also for checking the output. Okay. So these are all the different windows available in our SQL server. See the first one, database. So here we have different types of databases will be available. System database, database snapshot. This is not a system database. System database means here master, model, MSDB, TempDB. So these are all default. So because see, these are like namespaces for us, like using system or something. How we are working with the C# program without using system or namespaces, we cannot work. Similarly, these are also similar to that. Okay. So now what we will do, okay. So see, this is how the database folder will look like. So always we need to create a database inside database folder only, not under system database or database snapshots or something. We need to create under this one only. Now right click on database. So again, people see here, I'm repeating, right click on database. Okay, right click on database folder, new database. So if you people see here what I wrote in my book, see, right click on database, then you will find the option new database. Okay. So here you can give any name, whatever you want, you can use. So I'm giving student, student. Now copy this name and paste in notepad. Okay. Copy this name and paste in notepad. Now click on add. Okay. That's it. Now go to your SQL server again. See, that got created. Now I will create one more. Right click on databases, new database, just give some name, employee, click on OK. See, employee got created. That's it. So this is what database. Okay, got it? Any questions? So anyone have any questions? How to create database? Everyone is clear. So this is so important. So see, some people don't know SQL Server. For them only, I'm especially explaining. Okay. Okay, fine, right? So this is how we'll create database. Now we created the database. What else is pending for us? What else we need to create now? Tell me. Yes, tables. So where we need to create tables? Inside the database. Now, if you people go to the database, you can expand here. Okay. Now here you have tables, views, synonym, storage, programmability, here inside the stored procedures, functions. So all those things will be there. Now, what is our important thing is table. Okay. Now, right click on table, new table. Okay. Now again, I'm going back to there. See, tables, right click on it, new table. Now, what our table will consist of? Column names and what data types. Okay. So column name. What is the column name? Some E number. Okay. Data type, integer. Okay. The most important thing when we are working with SQL Server and ADO.NET, so whatever the column name you are giving here, that should matches with your C# code. Whatever the data type you are giving here, that should match with your C#. That is the most important thing. Okay. And the second one I'm giving E name. And what is the data type equivalent to string here? Varchar. Okay. Similarly, E age. So E means employee number, employee name, employees. So we can give it this one as what? Integer. Now I'm done. So now you can click on this one, or you can control S. So see, now it is asking for the table. So now you can give anything. So I'm giving EMP. So I'm giving my table name, click on OK. Done. Now how you can create a table? Inside the table. Okay, now we want to see the table. So see, we got the table. So what is the table name means? See, if you rename here, you will find EMP. But when we see here, it is showing like dbo.emp. So that means DBO, database object. So DBO is the extension for this database objects. That's why it is showing. But what is the name means what? EMP only. Okay. How to create a table means right click on table, new table, and you need to provide whatever the columns and data types for the columns. That's it. This is how we'll create the table. So any questions here? Are you guys clear with the tables? Table and database creation? Okay. So some people who ever learned SQL Server, like they can create table name. So they can give column name, data type, like that they can give. But this is also fine. Now, see, for example, you want to check the data types of the table columns. Now see, right click on it, select top 100 rows. So you can modify here. Okay. So now right click on it, design. So see here, if you want to add few more things, you can add here. If you want to change the data type, you can change here. So whatever you want to do, you can do. So how I went there? So on the table, right click on it, design. For suppose, if you want to insert some values, now click on edit top 200 rows. Okay. So I'm just giving employee number, employee name, Naresh IT, employee is 28. Okay. Similarly, we could give in n number of values. So I'm giving like 2 test 23. So like that we can give, and you can save those values and we'll get the values. So please, I don't want to go up to that level. Why? Because when you learn SQL, then that time you will get it. So I'm just telling how to create a table and how to create a database. Okay. Why? Because again, that will become complete SQL related things. Why? Because you already have separate SQL session. They will explain everything. If I teach now, then some people will ask me stored procedure. Some people will ask me function. Some people will ask me trigger. Some people will ask me cursors. Some people will ask me, all these things. But anyway, here also for one column you can set primary key like that. Uh, Design. No, here if you right click on it, set primary key. See, okay. Is that answer for your question? So see this, if you remove this yellow nulls or something, so this is one kind of like that. So, but okay, but we don't want to go into that again. That is, uh, biggest. Okay. So this is the one. So got it, guys. So any questions? So now tell me if anyone did not get how to create a table or database, I will explain one more time. So see, this is the most important one. If you don't practice ADO.NET, there is no use of learning.NET. So I will give 2 minutes time to you guys. So someone want, I will explain again. Why? Because see, some people can easily create. Why? Because they are simple. They are learning SQL Server. That is like easy for them. But the thing, people who is not going to SQL Server classes or something, it's like a challenge for them. But I made it simple. So within 1 minute or 2 minutes, like how you people create Notepad in your desktop. In that, I mean, I made it so much easy for you guys. So that's the reason I was explaining this one. So, but if someone needed, I'm ready to explain one more time. Okay, so see, database, right click on database, new database. So here, if you give any name, you can give here like XYZ ABC or something, click on OK. Then database will be created like this. Okay, inside database, we'll have tables. Now you can expand that one and right click on it, a new table. Okay, then you will get like this. So whatever the columns you want to add, simply you can add them and you can specify the data type. So whenever you are creating database or tables, so see, just you need to copy the database name on Notepad and database name, table name on the Notepad. So it's better if you take some screenshot of this, e number, e name, e age. Why? Because whatever you are giving here, the same thing, the same names, the same column names with capital letter and small letter, you need to give in your C# code. That's the reason I am asking you guys to take the screenshot. Okay, that's it. Okay, so now for example, if I want to check what, so for example, you forget about the table name, column names and data types and all. So what should you do now? So simple. Now go to your table name, right click on it, design. Here you can see all the column names with data types. Okay. Now right click on table, edit start 200 rows. So if you want to insert the values, you can insert. Okay. So sir, how can we check the values? Is there any other way? Yes, we have. Select star from table name. What is the table name? EMP. So okay, now just execute this one. See, we got the values, what we saved in our database. Okay. This is related to tables. So now we'll come back to our ADO.NET. So leave the SQL Server like that. Okay. So now in our ADO.NET, we have two types of architectures available. One is connection-oriented architecture and one is disconnection-oriented architecture. What is that? Connection-oriented architecture and disconnection-oriented architecture. So first we will go with connection-oriented architecture. Okay, first one. So for example, in any C# program, if we want to write a C# program, what is the important thing in our C# program? Can someone tell me? What is the important program? Without what we cannot write a C# program. Don't tell me Visual Studio. So just think like it's already there, mean. Yes, namespaces. So right. So here also, like see, if you people remember for threading, what is that? Multi-threading concept. So there we have used one namespace. What is that namespace name? Tell me, someone. Perfect. Yes, yes, Soumya, Chandrika. Okay. So similarly, if you want to work with ADO.NET, so the first step in ADO.NET is declare namespace. Okay. Oh no. So what is that? What is the first step in ADO.NET means? So see, in middle, I will ask you people to speak with me. So please repeat that and some people and type in the chat also. Okay. So I want all the 32 people should respond here. Okay. So I want everyone should respond here. Okay. So I hope those people who opted for videos, so almost they are almost 15-20 people, I think so. So I want you guys practice that one. And so if I am asking you people to repeat, so you people also while watching the video, just repeat that and watch 1 or 2 times. So, then you will remember everything. So that's my request for you guys. Okay. So there is nothing wrong in repeating with me or something. So we people are learning .NET for a good cause only. Like, so whether you people are trying to change the job or whether you people are trying to get the job. So for example, some people are working on some other technology and you are trying to change the domain or technology. That's the reason we are here, right? So there is nothing wrong for working hard to achieve that, right? So what is declare namespace? Okay. So here declare namespace in the sense we have two namespaces. So we have like using system dot data, that is one, and the other one is using system dot data dot SQL client. Okay, using system dot data and using system dot data dot SQL client. These two namespaces are mandatory to work with ADO.NET. So without these two namespaces, we cannot work with what is that ADO.NET. This is fine. So now tell me, what are the two namespaces? Repeat with me. Using system dot data, and one more is what? Using system dot data dot SQL client. Now people repeat with me again. What is that? Using system dot data, and what is the other one? Using system dot data dot SQL client. These two are the namespaces we are working for what? SQL Server. Now tell me, what is the two namespaces? Everyone using system dot data, and one more is what? Using system dot data dot SQL client. Okay. Now people tell me, will you able to work without these two namespaces in our ADO.NET? Yes, no, no. So what are the two namespaces? Please repeat with me. Using system dot data and using system dot data dot SQL client. That's it. So now we are done with the step one. Now step two. So we'll just take we'll try to make it easy to remember the steps. So first one, I will just go with this telephone. How the telephone connection will work. First, what will happen? So we'll see that, and after that we'll compare them the same way. The first one, for example, so if you want to this landline phone, how we can configure our landline phone. The first step, what we need to do, we need to buy one landline phone. Okay, that is, or you need to declare connection. Okay, so like that, the first one is register connection. So after that, what will happen? They will come and create connection. Okay, now create connection happen. Now, so now you have your landline number. You have landline phone now. So now if you want to call someone, then what you need to do? You need to open that landline, right? So for example, now you open, like you kept an over here or somewhere. So now you want to speak with your friends, or like, so you want to speak with your friends or colleagues or someone. So you want to check the what is the status of the serials, or the movies. What curry you have ate and what curry you prepared. You need to explain them, and you need to tell them. So because I prepared some curry today, so two people successfully died after eating that. So we are serving the nation by reducing the population. So, all these things you need to speak, or you can tell, like, so this is what happened with this One Lakka serial, or this is what happened with other serials. So this is what happened in Big Boss house, or so many things you need to discuss. So if you want to do that, now what you need to do here, you need to dial the number. Okay, so dial the number is nothing but, so simply you're giving some input. Okay, or you are passing query. Okay, now you dial the number. Now what will happen? So now phone will ring. That means what? Execution will happen. Execution. So now, after 1.5 hours successful talks and all, so you want to disconnect the call. Now what you will do? Close. That means you will close the call, right? So similarly, we'll just compare them, both of them. Now, so what is that? Register for connection means declare namespace. Now step 2 is create connection. So here we have a class called SQL connection. SQL connection. So this class is responsible for creating connection, and few more things I will tell, but before that we'll just think about SQL connection is responsible for creating the connection. So SQL connection is responsible for what? Creating connection. So creating connection with whom? Now tell me, with whom? Database. Very nice. SQL server or database. Okay, okay, very good, very good. So now this class is having some predefined methods, right? So now what we need to do, we need to create an object for that. So SQL connection, what is the syntax for creating an object? What is the syntax for creating an object? Class name, object name equal to new class name. Perfect. Okay. So now my class name is SQL connection. Now class name, I will give some object name equals to, or we can give something like con equals to new class name. What is the class name here? New connection, SQL connection. So what you will do here, he will pass the connection. Correct. Perfect. Now that is fine. Now the step 3. So now what you have this telephone connection. Now if you want to speak, then what you need to do? Open. So this SQL connection class by default consists of 2 methods. Those 2 methods are opening and closing. Okay. Now this class is having one method. Now tell me what is the syntax for calling one method in C#? What is the syntax for calling a method? Object name dot method name, right? So what is the object name here? Con. So open the connection. So the syntax for that is what? Object name dot method name. What is the method name? Open. That is done. Now the most important part of this one is dialing that number. So up to here we are done. So we need to dial the number here. Dial the number. Step 4. What is the dial the number means? We need to pass the query. So for that we have a class called SQL command. Okay, we have a class called SQL command. So we need to create an object to that command class, and we need to pass the query. SQL command cmd equals to new SQL command. Okay, so now you can pass the query here. We need to pass the query to whom? Database. So now where is the database stored here? Here in the SQL connection class. So that's why I will pass both. Now that is done. So now after that, what you need to do? So now phone is ringing. Now what you need to do? You need to speak, right? So now that is what execute query. Execute a query. So here I will tell that we have one more notepad there. I will explain. Okay, execute query. And after executing query, what you need to do finally? You need to close the connection. So how we can close the connection? Object name dot method name. What is the object name there? Con data, close. That's it. Done. So this is what ADO.NET. Okay. The first one is declare namespace. Second one is what? Create connection. Okay. So we'll open one more notepad. So that is so. Okay. The same which I shown you in the notepad, I have here in different way. Okay. What is the first step? Declare the namespace. What are the two namespaces available here? Okay. Using system.data and using system.data SQL client. What is the second step? Create connection. What is the class name for creating connection? SQL connection con equal to new SQL connection. So now here you need to pass the SQL connection details. Now tell me. Now go to Object Explorer. The first one. The first one is what? Server name. So the server name here, we will call it as data source. What is that? Data source. What you can give here? You can give dot, you can give localhost, or you can give the computer name. And so once you enter into here, so what you need to give, so whatever the database name we created, this one. So you need to pass the database name here. Okay. So okay. So see, like this. So if it is the SQL authentication, then we need to give user ID and password. Okay. What is the first step? Declare namespace. Second step is create connection. So we can create connection in two ways, with SQL authentication or Windows authentication. If it is SQL authentication, you need to provide user ID and password. If it is Windows authentication, you don't need to provide any user ID password. But the next step, open connection. So con.open. So see now. So after that, what? We need to pass the query. So by using which class? SQL command. So we need to pass the query. Okay. So after that, we need to execute the query. We have three types of execution: execute scalar, execute reader, execute non-query. So execute scalar. When query returns a single value, see, for example, if your query returns a single value, then we will go for execute scalar. For example, you have 100 records, but you need only one record, first record only. Then you can go for execute scalar. Okay. Execute reader. So the name itself reader. So if you want to read some data from SQL server, then we will go for execute reader. And finally, so non-query. This is the most important one. This is what we are going to use now. For example, if you want to insert the data, update the data, edit the data, All these things can be done by using execute on query. Okay. This is what our execute the query, and finally you need to close the connection. Okay. Now I will ask some Akshay, you can unmute yourself. Akshay or Akash. Akash.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Akash. Now tell me, what is the first step, Akash?
We need to create a using whichever taking database that we have to.
No, database is created. Database created, table created. Now, what is the first step with ADO.NET for connection oriented architecture?
Using.
Yeah, what is that? Using what we call them? What is that using?
Data, sir, means namespace, sir.
Declare namespace. What is that?
Namespace. Declare namespace.
Okay, good. What the step 2?
Second step. We need to give
Create connection.
Connection, sir.
What is that?
Create a connection.
Create a connection. What is the class name for creating connection here?
We have to give same name which are given in a table created database.
No. What is the class name? I told one class name. Okay, I will ask someone. So listen carefully, Akash. Then how you will know? Sandhya.
Hello.
Hi, Sandhya.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. So now tell me, what is the first step, Sandhya?
Sir, declaring namespace.
Okay. What is the namespaces here? Tell me.
Using system.data. And second one is using system.data.sql server. SQL client.
System.data, and one more is using system.data.sql client. Okay, what is the second step?
So creating connection.
Okay, 1 minute. What is the class here for creating connection?
So SQL connection.
So what you will do here for SQL connection, we will create what?
Object.
Very good. Create connection. SQL connection can equal to
new SQL connection.
SQL connection. Okay. So here what you will pass?
Database.
Correct. SQL connection details. Correct. Okay. Perfect. So we have like data space source. Okay. Equals to what? We can give dot or computer name or local host semicolon. So after that what? database name.
ID name.
Okay. Database name. Database name equals to whatever database name you have. That one, like employee. That is done. Okay. Now we'll go for the third one. What is the third step? So now you have telephone. So now you have telephone, you want to dial the number. Before that, what you need to do? You need to open, right?
Yes.
So from where we are getting that open means from here, SQL connection class. So what is the syntax for calling one method now? Object name dot.
Method name.
So what is the method name here? Open.
Open.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, clear. So now the fourth step. What is the fourth step here? Tell me. What is the fourth step? So now you need to dial the number. Right?
Okay.
That
Yes.
is what pass the query. What is that?
Pass the
Passing.
Pass the query. So what is the class name for passing the query?
SQL connection.
SQL connection.
Sorry. SQL command. What is that?
SQL command.
SQL command. So we need to create object for this one also. Command equal to new SQL command. Okay. So now what you will pass here? Query,
Query.
query comma. To whom we will pass that query?
SQL.
To whom we will pass the query?
SQL command.
So this one, right? So SQL connection is stored where? In this connection object, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you will pass here. And now after that what? So we need to, so now you have dialed the number. So what is that? Finally what? We need to execute the query. What is that?
Executing the query.
Execute the query. So we have what? Execute scalar, execute reader, execute non-query. That is fine. And finally, what is the last step? What is the last step? Yes, tell me. So you done with everything, madam. So what you will do now?
We will share the-
You done with the telephone. So now what you will do? What we done here?
Calling the method.
No, what we done here? What is this one? What we done here?
Open. In the
So
connect.
if you open here and in the last step, what we need to do?
we need to close.
Yes. What we need to do? We need to close, right?
Yes, sir.
So object name dot method name again. So con dot close. Okay, done. So clear, Sandhya now? Akash?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm removing now. I will go for 2 more people. One is Amit. The other one is Soumya. Yeah, you both can. So other people can mute yourself, please. Okay, so Amit, I just. Oh, okay. I cannot speak. Then Kiran.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. So yeah.
We can declare the namespace.
Yeah, wait. I will ask more step by step. Soumya, madam, you also there, right? Yeah, both of you tell me. So what is the first step? What is the step one?
Declare namespace.
Both. Soumya, why you are not telling? Yeah, what is that? Declare.
Namespace.
What are the two namespaces for what are two namespaces to work with edvo.net?
Using system.data and using system.data.sql client.
Very good. Using system.data and
Using system.data.sql client.
SQL client. Okay. So clear. Now, what is the step 2?
We have to create a database connection. Create a database.
Create connection.
Yep.
With whom, Soumya? SQL server. Very good. So now tell me, what is the class name for creating connection?
SQL connection.
SQL connection. So what we need to do here? We need to create object,
Object.
right? So SQL connection, some object name equals to new SQL connection. What will pass here? In the brackets?
Database name, data source equal to.
Correct. Correct.
Database name and credential.
Connection details. Simply I'm keeping. Yep. Okay, clear?
Yep.
Now, the next step is
Open the
what?
connection.
We need to open the
connection.
Connection. Open the connection. And what is the next step? From where we will open the connection?
From object name dot open method.
Correct. So that is what con dot
open.
Okay, very good. What is the fourth step?
Pass the query.
Pass the query.
Yep.
So what is the class for passing the query?
SQL command.
SQL command. So equal CMD equals to new SQL command. Okay. So here you will pass what? Query comma connection. Very good. And what is the next step?
Execute the query.
Execute the query. Very good. So what are default methods here? Execute non-query,
scalar.
execute scalar, execute reader.
Execute reader.
What is the final step?
Close
the connection.
Close the connection. Very good, both of you. Okay, so please mute yourself. So Arun. And Shravani.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Shravani. So Arun, what happened? Sagar.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Okay. Hi, Sagar. So now tell me, what is the first step?
Declare namespace using system.data or using system.data or
Both of
SQL client.
Sagar, you also tell me. So using system data and
data. Using system.data SQL client.
Very good, very good. What is the step 2?
Create a connection, sir.
Okay, create my connection. What is the class name for creating connection?
SQL connection.
SQL.
Okay, so we need to create object to SQL connection.
New SQL connection.
Okay, very good. So now equals to new SQL connection.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, so what we need to pass here?
Data source is equal to daughter
Database.
Computer
So
name.
Simple connection details.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So now, what is the step 3?
Actually, like a calling methods, sir. Open or a close methods. Open
So here,
methods. Yeah.
open method. So what is the syntax, Sagar, for calling the method here?
Class name dot object name.
Sorry?
Method name. Sorry. C1 dot
Open.
open
Open method.
object name dot method name. Open.
Now, what is the step 4?
Yeah, pass the query, sir.
The class name for passing the
Class
query?
name, passing the query. Dot object, sir.
What is the
SQL
class
command.
name? SQL command.
Is equal to new SQL command.
New SQL command.
Query. Passing the query.
To whom?
Con, sir.
Which that con means database.
Object. Yes, sir. Database.
And finally, execute the query.
Execute the query.
And so what are 3 different types of execute query?
Execute
Scalar,
reader,
reader,
execute scalar, or execute
Non-query.
non-query.
Okay, fine. Very good. And what is the last step?
close
Object
the
dot close function, sir.
Okay,
Close
that's it.
method.
Yeah. So clear, guys. So anyone have any questions? So I will give these notes on Monday class. We'll repeat one more time and then we'll see the program. Yes, any questions? Yeah, thanks all for joining. We'll meet again on Monday. We'll see some more theoretical things and so some people I know like Wasim and all, they are responding very well, and so those who are responding, so like Chandrika, Arun, Amit, so Jyoti, so all those people, so very good. So please keep it up, and we'll again meet on Monday. We'll see some beautiful examples on edu.net. Thanks all for joining. We'll meet.